Welcome to our kitchen. Today, we're on a mission to make the ultimate buttermilk biscuit. Forget canned biscuits or dry disappointments. We're after fluffy, buttery perfection. Why biscuits? Because they're simple, comforting, and magical when done right. A perfect biscuit is tall, golden, flaky, and rich with butter and tangy buttermilk. The secret isn't mystery, it's understanding the science, cold butter, gentle touch, and the right ingredients. So roll up your sleeves and get ready for a hands-on, claymation-inspired adventure. We'll break down every step, making the process clear and fun. Imagine tiny clay hands, flour clouds, and butter cubes marching into the bowl. By the end, you'll be a biscuit boss, ready to create something truly wonderful. Let's dive in and start our delicious journey. What makes a biscuit more than just bread? It's all about flaky layers and rich flavor. When you break one open, you should see buttery, laminated layers, not a cake-like crumb. Butter creates steam pockets, giving biscuits their signature rise and flakiness. Buttermilk adds a subtle tang, balancing the richness of the butter. The crust should be golden and crisp, the inside pillowy and moist. A great biscuit melts in your mouth, never dry or chalky. It's sturdy enough for gravy, yet light enough to enjoy with jam. The aroma, the texture, the taste, it's a multi-sensory experience. Understanding these qualities is our North Star as we bake. Let's keep these goals in mind as we move to the ingredients. Our cast of ingredients is simple, but each one plays a crucial role in creating the perfect biscuit. These are the unsung heroes of your pantry, and chances are you already have most of them waiting on your shelves. You don't need anything fancy or hard to find, just the basics, ready to work their magic. All-purpose flour forms the base, about 2½ cups. It's the foundation that gives our biscuits their structure and that classic tender crumb. Baking powder and a pinch of baking soda give our biscuits their lift. These leaveners are what make biscuits rise tall and fluffy instead of flat and dense. A teaspoon of salt and a tablespoon of sugar enhance flavor and browning. Salt sharpens the taste, while sugar helps the biscuits develop a beautiful golden color as they bake. The star, very cold unsalted butter, ½ cup, cubed and kept in the freezer. Cold butter is essential for flaky layers, so don't skip this step. Cold butter is non-negotiable. It creates those essential steam pockets. As the biscuits bake, the butter melts and releases steam, making the dough puff up and separate into tender layers. Finally, 1 cup of full-fat, chilled buttermilk brings it all together. Buttermilk adds a subtle tang and extra moisture, making the biscuit soft and flavorful. Buttermilk's acidity keeps biscuits tender and reacts with baking soda for extra rise. This reaction is what gives biscuits their signature lightness and delicate crumb. If you don't have buttermilk, add a tablespoon of lemon juice or vinegar to milk and let it sit for a few minutes. This quick substitute will mimic the tang and acidity of real buttermilk, but for the best flavor and texture, real buttermilk wins every time. It's worth picking up if you can. With our ingredients ready and waiting, it's time to bring them together and start mixing up a batch of truly irresistible biscuits. In a large bowl, gather your dry ingredients: flour, baking powder, sugar, salt, and baking soda. Whisk them together thoroughly, making sure everything is well combined and there are no streaks of flour or clumps of baking powder hiding at the bottom of the bowl. This step is more important than it seems. It ensures every bite of your biscuit will have the perfect balance of flavor and rise evenly in the oven, so you don't end up with flat or uneven biscuits. Next, take your frozen butter and scatter the cubes evenly over the flour mixture. Using frozen butter is a game changer for biscuit texture. Use a pastry blender, 2 knives, or even your fingertips to cut the butter into the flour. The goal is to break the butter down into pieces about the size of peas, distributing them throughout the mixture. Work quickly and gently. Your hands should be light and the butter should stay as cold as possible. This is crucial because cold butter is what creates those irresistible flaky layers. When you're done, the mixture should look coarse and crumbly, with plenty of visible butter bits still intact. Don't overwork it. Lumps are your friend here. These little pockets of butter will melt in the oven, creating steam that lifts the dough and forms those beautiful, tender layers. If you notice the butter starting to soften or melt, don't hesitate to pop the bowl in the fridge for a few minutes. Keeping everything cold is the secret to biscuit success. Remember, keep it cold, keep it quick, and keep it lumpy. These 3 rules will help you achieve the perfect biscuit texture every time. By following these steps, you're setting the stage for tall, flaky biscuits that rise beautifully and have a melt-in-your-mouth texture. With your dough foundation ready and the butter perfectly distributed, you're now prepared for the next phase of biscuit making. Let's move on to the next step, adding the buttermilk, which will bring everything together into a soft, cohesive dough. Start by making a well in your flour and butter mixture. This little hollow in the center is where the magic begins, creating a cozy nest for the buttermilk to settle in. It helps the liquid incorporate evenly, so your dough comes together just right. Next, pour in the cold buttermilk, letting it flow gently into the well. Cold buttermilk is key. It keeps the butter from melting, which is what gives biscuits their signature flakiness. Using a fork or spatula, gently stir the mixture until it just comes together. The dough should look shaggy and sticky with streaks of flour still visible. Don't worry if it seems a bit rough. That's exactly what you want. Avoid overmixing at all costs. The less you handle the dough, the more tender your biscuits will be. Overworking develops gluten, which can make biscuits tough. Turn the dough out onto a floured surface. With floured hands, gently bring it together, coaxing it into a loose mound. Don't knead, just press it together until it holds. Pat the dough into a rectangle about an inch thick. Try to keep the edges as even as possible, but don't stress about perfection. Now fold 1/3 of the dough over the center as if you're folding a letter to fit in an envelope. Then, fold the remaining third over the top, completing the letter fold. This simple step is the secret to creating layers. Rotate the dough, pat it out again, and repeat the folding process 4 to 5 times. Each fold builds more flaky layers, so take your time and enjoy the process. Always use a light touch, never knead or press down hard. Gentle handling is what keeps the biscuit soft and airy. After your final fold, pat the dough out to about 3/4 to 1 inch thick. This is the perfect height for tall, fluffy biscuits. All those careful folds have created beautiful, visible layers in the dough. These will bake up into the flaky, tender biscuits you crave. Now your dough is ready for cutting. Grab your biscuit cutter and get ready for the final step. Remember, handle the dough with care for the best texture. With every gentle touch, you're one step closer to perfect homemade biscuits. Let's shape them and get ready to bake. Use a floured, sharp biscuit cutter to press straight down, no twisting. Place biscuits on a parchment-lined baking sheet, either close together for soft sides or spaced for crispier edges. Gently gather and repress scraps for a few extra biscuits. For a golden top, brush with melted butter or buttermilk. Bake in a preheated 425 degrees Fahrenheit, 220 degrees Celsius, oven for 12-15 minutes. The high heat melts butter quickly, creating steam and lift. Watch for tall, golden brown tops and a heavenly aroma. Remove from the oven when perfectly risen and browned. The transformation is complete. Flaky, golden biscuits await. Let's finish with the most important step sharing. Get ready to enjoy the fruits of your labor. The biscuits are out of the oven, golden, tall, and irresistible. Brush the tops with melted butter for extra flavor and shine. Admire your handiwork, flaky layers, perfect rise, and a comforting aroma. Biscuits are best enjoyed warm and shared with others. Gather friends or family and serve with butter, jam, or honey. The first bite, steamy, tender, and rich, is pure magic. You've mastered a time-honored tradition and created comfort from scratch. The smiles around the table are your true reward. Now you have the knowledge to make biscuit magic anytime. Enjoy and share the warmth.